What's up guys, I'm back for another collection video. This time I figured I would try to mix things up a little bit and do another different type of format and appear in front of the camera for a change, which is not something that I do often. It's been a very long time since I've done it. And I figured I would try to show a different format to maybe get a more quality show going on for my collection videos. So let's see how it goes. So Momocon was last week, and I think I mentioned it in a previous video before, and it was awesome. Getting to meet Troy Baker and Courtney Draper was amazing, and going to their panel, and during which they actually sang the song from BioShock Infinite that they do together, and that was unbelievable. I didn't get a chance to take any video at the con because I was busy running around in my Corvo cosplay, just being a complete troll, and I actually managed to find an Assassin's Creed group, and I photobombed their photo shoot quite a bit. But I found a retro gaming booth in the dealer's room there, and I bought a ton of stuff. I had to like restrain myself because they had like everything I wanted for my collection. I was like, I have to be very specific about what I want to buy here, because they had like a mint. For instance, they had Dot Hack Part 4 for $110. They had stuff like Drakengard 2, Xenosaga Episode 3. A PS1 copy of Tactics Ogre, Valkyrie Profile, and Persona 1, which is in pretty good condition for $70. But I didn't buy all that stuff because some of it was not in great condition. Like Xenosaga Episode 3 I really wanted, but I passed on that because it was really not in good condition at all. So I'm like, I'm going to wait for another day and get one that's in better shape. So I did buy quite a bit of stuff though. I've spent about $200. And this is the stuff that I got. So I figured I would start making collection update videos about random pickups that I do instead of just the main franchises or publishers that I collect. Whenever I get a bunch of games for that, I think I'll update it more frequently now. So a lot of retro games here. The first one I got 2 NES games, 3 SNES, 1 PS1, and 1 PS2. I got a loose NES cart of Final Fantasy 1, which I've been looking for quite some time. Because I'm collecting the Final Fantasy series, as you guys know. $20 for this, not bad, especially from what I've seen it go for in the past, and I've had a chance to pick it up. It plays. Then I got Dragon Warrior 2, which I'm collecting all the Dragon Quest games as well. This one I've not been able to get to play yet. It still has a glitch gremlins like the other like Dragon Warrior 1 did. Never been able to finish this game when I played it on the Game Boy Color because I couldn't save. We all know that story. Then I managed to get Final Fantasy IV, the original SNES version of Final Fantasy II, or Final Fantasy II, the original SNES version of Final Fantasy IV. Let's put it that way. And because I have a Super Famicom version of 5 and 6 in Chrono Trigger, and the SNES version of Chrono Trigger is stupid expensive and way overpriced. So I'm never gonna pick that up probably, unless I find it for a really reasonable price. And then I selected games that I either didn't have that version of that are really essential for my collection, or games I knew I would play soon. So I picked up Lufia and the Fortress of Doom for the SNES, which is a very underrated classic. I'm looking forward to playing that. And then Super Metroid. That was about $45 right there. That works just fine. It's in mint condition. Very much looking forward to playing that again. So one PS1 game, I was very happy to find this, and I know I've played this already a little bit. This is the Lunar Silver Star Story Complete Limited Edition for the PS1, and this game had to have been made with collectors like me in mind, because this is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous limited edition here for such an old game. It has artwork and imagery on every single inch of it, and it has this cloth map right here. The box is in really good shape. It has everything in it. The box is pretty sturdy too. It doesn't look like it's going to get banged up from me opening and actually playing the game. And it comes with this hardback book, which is essentially like a mini strategy guide, and it has some developers' notes and some artwork in it and stuff like that. It's the manual and the strategy guide all in one. And then The game itself, which is, I believe the game itself is 2 discs long, and then it comes with the soundtrack and the making of, so it's 4 discs. This was $65 right here. This is the big one that I blew some cash on. So, yeah, not a lot of games, but then again, I don't have the budget to buy like a ton of games every time I do this. So these are probably going to be short videos compared to some other more popular collectors out there. And so PS2 games, like I said, they had everything. Like they had, like I said, they had most of the dot hacks. I think they had all 4 of the original dot hack quadrilogy. A lot of other games that I wanted, but I ended up getting Valkyrie Profile 2, which was cheap. That's probably why I got it, because I was blowing my budget at that point. This Black Label copy is nice, and I've been looking forward to playing this, so that was good to just get out of the way and out of my collection. Then I found I actually had multiple copies of this. This is not in the best shape, but it was actually a really good price too, and that's Chaos Wars. And if those of you don't know what Chaos Wars is about, it's a tactics RPG. It's a crossover between Azure, Atlas, Reddit Entertainment, and Idea Factory, which means it's going to have characters from Shadow Hearts and Growlancer, and most notably, though, the one reason why I want to look at it is it actually has Brandon Heat from Gungrave. So, very much looking forward to playing that and playing as him. So the last thing I got here, I waited until today to make this video. I know this is kind of late, but I picked this up from a friend today because she accidentally ended up doing a mishap with her pre-ordering the game. Ended up with 2 copies of it, and that's the Drakengard 3 limited edition. So I'm going to do an unboxing of that real quick and see what it has inside. I'm very much looking forward to that. Alright, so the Drakengard 3 limited edition. This was a SquareEnix.com exclusive, and it wasn't a game that was really on my radar. I was looking forward to it, but I wasn't going to go on my way to pre-order it. And like I said, she had an issue with hers, so somehow she ended up with a second copy. And she decided instead to sell it on eBay for outrageous amounts of money, because now it's worth a lot more than it was, because there's only about 5,000 of these made, from what I hear. She decided to sell it to me for the retail price, so I was very, very, very grateful for that. I highly appreciate it for her contributing to my collection like that, and considering her friend instead of profiting immensely like she could have. So this is pretty cool. So far from the packaging, I can tell it's about the same size as the 13.2 limited edition. One thing I don't like about this year in particular, they're making all the PS3 labels blue, which I don't like. I thought they should have just kept it the same, because now I can guarantee you a lot of people at retail stores are going to get confused with the PS4. And if someone ends up wanting to buy a PS3 game, they're going to hand them a PS4 copy instead. But that's a minor nitpick. I noticed that with Wolfenstein: The New Order when I picked it up. I was like, oh man, this is actually going to be a permanent thing now. So let me get into this and see what it actually contains. Because despite how rare this thing is, I actually do plan to play it. As long as I keep this limited edition in good shape. Another, again, slipcover. This is almost identical to the 13.2. Actually, it's more like this inner part is more like the Deus Ex 3 Augmented Edition. This is some beautiful artwork, though. It's simple, but nice. Just like, let's see. I think this is the poster. Yeah, this is the poster, which is nice to have. I really appreciate that. And then this is the book, which is really cool. I'm not sure exactly what this has. I think it's a prequel novel that summarizes the story. It's actually, yeah, it's a novel, which is really cool. For those of you who are really into the story of this franchise. And then this doesn't have so many tangible things in it, so much as it has downloadable things. For some reason, this is not individually sealed in here. This is the original Japanese artwork, though. If you were to buy a loose copy of the standard edition, it would have a different artwork for the American version, as far as I know. So, this is weird. Let's see. I'm assuming there's a manual there, and there's something about the soundtracks. Yeah, this is the soundtrack selection. It's not the entire soundtrack, it's just bits of it, I think, or maybe it's the first disc. Here's the game itself. Like I said, I highly appreciate getting soundtracks, especially tangible soundtracks. And I think that's it for tangible stuff with this game, which is kind of a letdown. The rest of it is all downloadable. It's like alternate outfits, the Japanese dub for the game. Let's see. A prequel stage DLC, stuff like that. Again, I like to have more tangible stuff with my limited editions, but that's just because that's just the way that I am. So, but this is actually a really nice limited edition. I'm very, very happy with it. So, but that's all there is to it. That was a very brief unboxing.